Hi Regenerators, I've got another one of my collaborators to introduce you to. His name is Jono Frew and he lives in New Zealand. And I haven't known Jono that long, only probably a couple of months, but there are a few people that you meet in your life and you know that they're really special. And as I was speaking to Jono, I knew he had a lot to give, especially in the regenerative circles. So hi Jono, thanks for joining me.
Hey Tamsin, it's really great to be here.
I just want to know, well, we would like to know who you are.
I grew up in a family of chemical applicators and sheep dipping contractors, so chemicals were a real sort of normal part of my life, and spent most of my life as a farmer, and then also spent some time as a chemical agronomist later in life. And now I would call myself a regenerative agriculture coach and consultant. And I go around teaching farmers and students and children and consumers all about the regenerative agriculture principles and different biological functions.
So I find this fascinating because you couldn't really get to the extremes of two spectrums, really, could you? Like, what did you call it? A chemical agronomist. I've never heard of that one before.
So I was the guy that had all the answers to the problems, but in the form of a chemical in a container or multiple chemicals. And then I'll go about applying those chemicals either with spray trucks or self-propelled high clearance machines or helicopters.
So for your transition then from this industrial way of things into the regenerative side, what actually happened? When did you, because it's not really that you've changed at all, it's just your mindset that's changed. Was there a significant thing that happened to you?
Yeah. So all my life as a intensive conventional farmer, where I relied on fertilizers and chemicals as the norm because it was and still is the industry standard. I was watching, but not with anything but just subconscious observations. Things like the river qualities crashing in New Zealand to the point where we couldn't swim in them anymore, and then even to the point where your pets couldn't swim in them anymore. And I remember having friends from the cities saying to me when I was dairy farming that I was the part of the problem, and I was too stubborn to admit that I was, because I was just doing what I was told. And then into my years as a chemical applicator and specialist, I was observing things like continual failures of crops that people had spent thousands of dollars on chemically repairing or chemically maintaining with fertilizers and chemicals. But still, it seemed to be like, for instance, weed sprays would lose their efficiency and people started talking about resistance. And I was watching all these really odd things start to take place, like none of the chemicals that I would apply really worked. I was always having to reapply. And rather than addressing the cause of the problems, industry would come out with stronger chemicals. And one day I got the profound opportunity to manage a 200-hectare mixed cropping sheep and beef farm that was certified organic. And it was, why I say it was profound was because I was a local chemical expert, and this guy, Tim Chamberlain, asked me to manage his organic farm, and I was the first ever manager of their farm. And it was really odd that I should get offered that job. And that job, I was just sort of, from having no organic experience to being thrown in to manage this large farm, I had to learn really quickly. And all of a sudden, all of these pieces started coming in, like for instance, the power of diversity. So all my life, I was focused on monocultures and keeping things, clean and tidy with chemicals and all these things. And all of a sudden, figuring out that one, we could farm without chemicals and fertilizers, but two, that growing plants in particular all together in a diverse sward actually equaled higher yields. And that just sort of blew me away. And then I started